Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So we just uploaded a video, and then this came through the news feed, and we just felt we have to mention this because this is it feels significant. So as you can see, this is showing the moment when people started to run during a shooting at the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City, Missouri. Again, this is Kansas City, Missouri. This is the Super Bowl parade for the Kansas City Chiefs. And there was a shooting that just occurred there in which right now they're saying 8 to 10 people were injured. The most recent reports, one person confirmed no longer alive. Again, this is very fluid. This is just basically it's all unraveling right now as we are mentioning it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Just something that's ongoing, and after a string of a bunch of other stuff that's going on, the things we have had in Texas, and I don't know, it just seems like, to me, it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, FBI is at the scene, large police presence. They say there's over or up to 1 million people that were coming in for this party. What we know is 2 armed individuals are detained in connection with the incident. They were armed, and that's why they were detained. So not known at this time as to whether these are suspects or just people that were in the area. Shots were fired west of Union Station. Several people were hit. This is unfortunately, this is the world that we're in at this point in time, and I know many people were wondering, was there going to be some sort of false flag event, some sort of attack at the Super Bowl? Well, here you have the Super Bowl parade, which in reality is drawing more people than the Super Bowl itself to the local area. Crazy times we are in, and immediately your mind goes in so many different directions. My mind automatically goes to, is this illegals? Is this illegal migrants? Is this sleeper cells just causing havoc? Is this somebody that is just off their meds? Is this any one of, just so many different possibilities. What we can share is what impressions Cindy has gotten, and we'll also share what this gentleman saw firsthand. So let's listen in here. I hope the sound comes across for you guys well.
But a ton of gunshots apparently going off, and a lot of people scattered in confusion. I got ran into the garage with everybody else, and in the garage it sounded like they were securing a meeting station because there was maybe some return fire from someone else, is what I heard, but I don't know if the police even knew at that point. It was a lot of confusion. I thought it was fireworks. It sounded like a ton of very rapid succession, very quick shots.
So he thought it was fireworks. It was a ton, very rapid succession, maybe 20 or so shots. And then there was some sort of return fire going on, maybe, by somebody in the crowd. Again, this is just all kind of developing right now. And so it's very, very fluid. Now, this is somebody in custody, obviously. And so, trying to distinguish who this person is. It's very curious because, just last night I was getting impressions of people dressed very much like this and slipping into shadowy places. We understand, and we were just talking about in the video, how there is such a cartel infiltration going on at this point in time, that certain gangs like MS-13 are working with the cartels. This is what's been given to us by different sources of information. And of course, we have so many illegals across the border. And then, of course, we have so many calls for gun control. So, so many different possibilities. What Cindy was getting was certain words were coming through when she's like remote viewing it. This is how things work. There's words that come through and impressions.
Well, there's a whole lot of confusion. There's a lot of anger. There's the word destination kept coming up. This somebody taking orders, following orders, almost like there's a lot of anger, like a lot of trauma, like a MK Ultra type of triggering going on. But it at the same time, it's still very deliberate and very organized. So that's what came up so far.
Yeah, and again, we send our prayers out there to everybody involved at this point in time. There's, I'm sure, many very, very concerned families because, when you're talking 1 million people going to a place like this and then you hear of a shooting, there's going to be an awful amount of worried people, rightly so, out there concerning their loved ones. Thankfully, at this point in time, we still have open communication, and there is some footage emerging that's of a more graphic nature. As I'm checking the feed right now, 1 person died. As we have said, at least 9 people hurt. This was very, very rapid. It was rapid in its unfolding, and it seems also in its response, as it seems the response was swift. There definitely was a strong police presence there. And as you can see, it was immediate, the response going on. And then again, and whenever you have any of these type of events, you immediately hear the calls for gun control. But as we know, the criminals of the world, they don't worry about laws. And when you talk about tens of millions of people inside the country illegally, and many of them coming in from cartels, they're gun running in the first place. They're either drug running, gun running, or human trafficking. They don't pay attention to any sort of laws. And look at Mexico. We were just reading something about Tijuana. The amount of shootings and deaths in Tijuana is just staggering. And you have to think that an unarmed population is a population that is much more, they don't have any way of defending themselves.
No, they don't. I mean, it really is a big mess. There was a point in time where things were so very simple. There didn't need to be locks on doors because there were no criminals. There wasn't anybody to call a sinner. Everybody just worked together, until they brought in all of these laws and all of these dictatorships. And now we have to me, it's one huge mess. We really need to get back to where things were simpler.
So apparently this was 6 years to the day of the Parkland school shooting. There's been just so many shootings we can't keep track of them. And again, they always will bring up that gun control, but I'd rather hear things like, what does the toxicology say with the person's blood? What were they on? Because when you look to side effects of things that you can get legally, totally legally, those side effects include things that could cause people to go and do stuff like this.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's the list of side effects for things that people go to get because emotionally they need help or they're not well. I mean, those side effects are horrible, but somebody is so blinded in pain, they go ahead and take it anyway in hopes that they might get some relief. In reality, humans go through these things, sometimes it's activation, sometimes it's dark night of the soul. I mean, we're human. We're going to go through them. And unfortunately, they have a way to treat people and give them things that really makes them unstable.
Absolutely. So just a quick update. Again, send out your positive intentions and prayers. Thank you for being part of the family. Thank you for your support. As always, much love. Namaste.
Namaste.